All right, so this is project 6. We're going to stream live video via a Raspberry Pi using a USB webcam. So the requirements for this are really easy. We want to mount our webcam connected to the Raspberry Pi on the quadcopter. We're going to use this to capture live video on the Pi, and then we're going to stream the video from the Pi via Wi-Fi to our host, and we're going to display it on our laptop. So for this, we'll need the quadcopter, which we built in project 4. We're going to need one USB webcam, a Raspberry Pi, and a case, which is really helpful. We need a micro SD card for the Pi, and mine came pre-installed with the Noob software, which means that it was easier for me to download Raspbian, but we'll get to that. I also ended up needing a USB keyboard and a mouse, spare ones to help me configure the Raspberry Pi, but there are ways around that if you don't have them. I needed an HDMI cable as well, and then for a monitor, I just used my TV. And then I needed a portable charger, a USB to USB-C cable, and then a USB-C power adapter if I want to just plug the Pi into the wall, and then my laptop. So here you can see some photos of my setup. I've got the camera mounted on front, and this is facing in the same direction as the MiniPix is facing. And then on the bottom, I've attached my Raspberry Pi, a portable charger, and then I've taped it all together so that it's secure. So the software that we're going to need, I am using my Windows laptop as a monitor for the Raspberry Pi. I'm using this through VNC, which I'll show you how I make that connection in a second, but you're going to need to have PuTTY installed and VNC Viewer. And then before any of this will work, you're going to need to install Raspbian on your Raspberry Pi. And so my micro SD card came preloaded with Noobs, which makes it super easy for you to install Raspbian, but if not, you should follow these instructions and download it yourself. So to set up the Pi, you put it into its case and you insert the micro SD card. And then what was easiest for me was to connect it to a monitor or to my TV with the HDMI cable, and then attaching a keyboard and a mouse to the USB ports in the Pi itself. And this way I was able to log into the Pi on my monitor, and then the Noob software opened up and offered for me to download Raspbian, which I did. And so then you wait for a while, Raspbian downloads, and then while you're on the Pi on your TV, you can set this up to connect to your home Wi-Fi network, which I did. And as long as it's on the same network that your laptop's on, then your laptop should be able to SSH there. And to find the IP of your Pi, if you type hostname -i, it'll tell you your IP, which makes it really easy. And then you want to enable SSH and VNC on the Pi as well. And then you're going to PuTTY into the Raspberry Pi, which I've already done, and you'll log in, you'll get a login screen. The default username is Pi and the default password is Raspberry. And then in the VNC client, you can make a connection to the Raspberry Pi after you start a VNC server here, which I did not do yet, so let's start that. So start a VNC server on the Pi, and it'll tell you this desktop number. And so I'm trying to connect to desktop number 1. You can see it here, and I'll type in my password for that. And now we're looking at the Pi. So it's a really easy way to VNC in, and then we can open a terminal on the Pi and do the rest of our work from there. Or you can just work from this terminal in PuTTY, whichever you prefer, but sometimes it's nice to be able to see the desktop and stuff. So now once we've got the Pi all set up, what we need to do is connect the webcam. Basically, this is as simple as plugging in the webcam to the Pi, and then you need to install the Motion software on the Pi. So I'll just show you this. I already installed Motion, and then I'll type LSUSB to see if we can see, oops, wrong one, if we can see our camera. Yep, so I'm pretty sure that it's the Gembird one here. So that's our camera. And so then the next thing to do is change a bunch of settings in this Etsy motion.configuration file. You're going to need to be sudo when you're doing that. And these are all described in the PDF, but the important one is this stream max rate of 100. When I originally did this, my video was really choppy, it was poor quality, and then Tay sent an email to everyone and suggested changing this from 1 to 100, and that totally improved my video quality and fixed the problems I was having. So when you change those settings, next you'll change the settings in Motion here, just to start the software up right when you go. And then to restart the software, you're going to do sudo service motion restart and sudo motion. So I'll just make sure that my motion software is running, and then I'll show you how we can view this. So now the motion software is running, and it's just as easy as we're going to open up the IP address of the Pi at port 8081. And now you can see that the camera attached to my drone is a live feed, and I'll show you some video, but we can like go up on the wall, and as I turn my drone around, the camera follows through the room. And I get meta, we'll show the laptop here. So that is what we're hoping to see when we fly the drone, is that live feed. And I'll show you that next.